For Panthers Fans Only is a sports podcast intended for mature audiences and contains profanity as well as extremely spirited conversation. What you see and hear are the sole opinions and depictions of each individual, not at all inclusive of the entire cast or any guests associated with our show. Thanks for tuning in, and always remember to stand on business.
Better than me.
That's right.
You said you would've did it.
It's the dope WR. Come on. Hey, I
always
say
fun.
we getting out of money, hoes, and the cars and clothes. That's all on my niggas. We ride, shout, blowing drunk on 24. That's how all my niggas we get shouting. Money, hoes, and the cars and clothes. That's all on my niggas. Blowing drunk.
I mean, did I say anything?
I don't know. You were just looking at me.
In a drunk top Chevy with the roof wide open. My partner's looking at me to see if my eyes open. Cause I've been drinking and I've been smoking and flying down 285, but I'm focused. 454 where it says I race potions. White leather seats as fresh as alpha. I say I'm doing about 100, but the track still like number 8 on NWA. Straight out of Compton. Pull up in your apartment, sitting on 20 songs.
Hey, welcome to FPFO. We back. A lot of complaining.
I couldn't hear you either.
Yeah, because you got to turn me up.
I don't need to turn them up. He good. Music just hot. Welcome.
And your seats vibrating 24-inch. They got the Chevrolet scale making money. And the cars and clothes. That's all on my niggas. Blowing drunk.
A lot to get through today. I'm not gonna hold you. It's completely unacceptable to me that we go out and make some of the additions that we do with a brand new coaching staff, a first-year head coach, second-year quarterback, and we got veteran players not showing up to camp. We got a kicker who is nothing more than mediocre, holding out for additional money. We'll get to that. We're gonna do a full dive into the schedule, give y'all our juice, but yeah, we got some things to go through, and I don't really care. Some of y'all that watch might not like what I have to say. Terrence already trying to defend Eddie Pinero the other day. I just don't know why or how.
It wasn't a defense. It was just a simple statement.
We'll talk about it. Happy birthday to our consultant friend.
Is that the title?
I don't know. I forgot what his title is. Our strategic planner. That's his title. The energy is a lot better in here today. A couple weeks ago, I was ready to crash out on both of you. I'm chilling today.
So you don't walk into the pissy booth?
Hopefully we don't get blocked by this song. But we'll see. Life is better when you live it on the edge. Welcome to For Panthers Fans Only. I'm your host, JJ.
I'm your co-host, Terrence.
I'm your producer, Tavian.
No, finish it.
What?
See, you missed your cue. Because I told you to do the intro last time, 2 weeks ago.
It's been 2 weeks. My brain, it's a lot of shit that I went in there in the past 2 weeks.
No worries. How you feeling today?
I feel great. I was feeling amazing until I walked in today, but I mean, right now I'm feeling I'm feeling pretty good.
What happened when you walked in?
I just felt the energy off. I just happened to see it that.
So just the look of me just pisses you off?
Threw my energy off.
So just the look of me pisses you off for some reason? I didn't do anything. Everything was prepared just for you to sit down.
Yeah, when I walk in my career, don't be waving your hands. Unless the only motion you should be waving your hands when I walk in my crib is. Any other motion is unacceptable.
Imagine that. Are you crazy?
But yeah, I'm doing great. Another week, short work week. So I'm doing amazing.
Good. How you feeling?
One more thing. And we won our kickball championship last week.
Congratulations. Would you like to give yourself a round of applause?
Nope. What's that you hit on here? Yeah.
The yellow button, hit it.
Do it go off automatically?
Yeah, it'll go off.
Okay, cool.
Well, congratulations. I mean, just based off what I heard, you kind of struggled at the plate a little bit.
No, opposite.
You struggled in the field, so you almost did it off in the field.
Not really. I mean, I made up for it on one side of the. I mean, if my team can win with me having a bad game, then that's fine. That's what we needed.
So that means that's the true mark of a champion?
Yeah.
Fair enough. How was your Memorial Day weekend? Did you get into anything special? Why are you so chuckling? Is it a regular question?
No, not really. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to dive into that whole weekend. It was just some bullshit overall until Monday. But I love my country. I love my troops.
How are you feeling, buddy?
Buddy. I'm feeling pretty good. Can't complain, man. Memorial Day weekend just came and passed. Much needed long break from work. So it was a weekend. It was an interesting weekend to say the least.
It seems like y'all were together, and it seems like something didn't go how it needed to go. So I'm confused.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think it was more so. It was just I personally was just disappointed when we went out by the lack of people that were out. I'm pretty sure it's because everybody was at the beach, but it was
also a Sunday.
Yeah, where most people didn't have to work on Monday, but that's neither here nor there. I figured if there was ever a Sunday where people would go out, it would be that one.
Fair enough.
But, like I said, it was just disappointed. Wasn't too many people, and then the music in the clubs that we went to was kind of, excuse me, it was bad. Okay. So
you're doing better.
I
wanted to you last week, boy. I wanted
to. I told you stop with me. Well, you just proceeded to continue. So?
I didn't say anything. I was legitimately sitting here mad as hell that we were even recording, and then you just kept pissing me off, emphasizing specific curse words in the song. Didn't catch that until I started. Don't do too much though. Don't do too much. But yeah. Welcome. If I look a little more handsome, I was in the Florida sun for the last 8 days. How would I summarize this trip? One night, let's just say I didn't recognize who I was. I probably should never ever get like that again. Let my friends tell it. But yeah, great trip. Went down for about a week and some change. Visited what did I call him? Our strategic planner. Yeah, visited him
or
for the
consultant.
week.
It's a different name every time you say it. So,
I gotta come up with a good one. But yeah, went down there. Spent about a week down there. Came back, touchdown yesterday. Back here today. Back in the hustle of everything, and is what it is. So, I'm not gonna say. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that because I was gonna say something, but I know how y'all are. I know who our fan base is, so I'm gonna chill.
You don't want to elaborate any further on the weekend, or that's the last 8 days?
I drink every single day. Some days more than others. Some days to a point of maybe no survival, which I'm surprised that I'm here today to tell the story. I may or may not have committed a crime or three. What else? Yeah, I don't really have any. I don't really have any other context, to be quite frank. Like it's nothing to add. Like it was a good time.
In this time of allegations, I just feel like for whatever reason that's gonna have to get edited.
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so at all. Actually, everything that we say up here is alleged, and
allegedly.
Facts. If y'all don't already, make sure to follow us on social media on Instagram at For Panthers Fans Only, TikTok, same handle. Twitter, you can find us at FPFO_podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. You can find us there at the G2S Network. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tap in with us. You can also find us on all DSPs, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, etc. You can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. You can find us there as well. Jesus Christ. Breathe. We'll dive into it. And we're just gonna I'm not gonna lie. Like, y'all heard how I started by introducing some of the topics that we'll talk about. I'm very intrigued and interested to hear my co-hosts and our producers take on some of the things that are going on. Would you like to start with Eddie, or would you just like me to give you feedback on what I've seen, read, and heard? Go ahead.
Oh, I thought we were going to start with Bryce.
Sure. Okay, cool. It's a little off because I have my own personal notes here, and then, I built the episode off of that. So, yeah, sure. We can start with Bryce. A lot of Panthers fans got a tad bit aroused because he looked like he was filling out his jersey a little bit better. Seemed like he gained a couple pounds.
An enlarged Bryce?
Yes. No giddy. But yeah, do y'all care to comment on that? I'll give my opinion first. Happy to see it. I figured that once he got that Southern food in him and got on the weight plan, he would put on a little bit of weight.
Like he didn't come from Alabama.
Yeah, but it just don't hit the same. It doesn't.
I mean, yeah, he's probably on a more
and it's the NFL.
Yeah, I was about to say he's probably on a more compact eating schedule, workout schedule. So I mean, I'm not surprised. He took a beating last year in the pocket, so it's like if you want to continue to survive that, even though we went and got help, you might want to do something on your part, which working out, getting bigger, that could definitely help out. So I'm not surprised to see he got bigger. I mean, it's cool. It's nice, but I mean, when you say they got aroused, I just don't really to what extent were.
Oh, they were just excited. They were just, oh my God, Bryce Young is so much bigger. He's this, he's that. Cool. Okay, cool.
I mean, it still has to translate to him throwing the football. So, in that same breath, don't get too far ahead of ourselves. I mean, it is nice to see you put on muscle. Like you said, filling out his jersey a little more. It's not going to do anything but help him in the long run, but he still has to be able to throw the football. So,
yeah, absolutely. Comments?
I mean, that's kind of what he's supposed to do as a growing young man. He's supposed to start to fill out. I mean, he ain't getting any taller, so.
Why was you making all that noise earlier?
What?
Yeah, he was making a lot of noises, so I'm surprised that that's your stance. You were.
Well, no, I was saying that because that was more so about the stance of the Alabama versus the NFL thing, because I was like, I might go out on a limb and say Alabama has a better training facility and might have a better training table than the Panthers just because it's Alabama and their donors, that's all they got. And we know how Alabama show out with their football program. And the Panthers will catch up because they're making these billion-dollar innovations. But at the moment, I just find it kind of hard to believe that the Panthers have a better facility than Alabama. That's it.
I mean, I don't think the facility doesn't have as much to do with it as
the plan itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would agree with you. I think the facilities probably are better because, I mean, our weight room, average. Our locker room, below average. And our practice facility is just what it is. But we'll dive into that a little bit as well because I'm sure y'all seen, the plan for what is to come as it pertains to our training facility, our practice facility. But we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Other than that, yeah, everybody calm down. I know, it's exciting to see them getting bigger, whatever the case may be. Pause.
But they're just grasping for it. They're looking for any semblance of hope at this point, and it's
sad.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but let's calm down a little bit. It was just a picture of Bryce throwing a football.
Yeah, did he even complete the fucking pass? Could that have been a better conversation? Could we at least see the pass?
That's a great question. That's the question that we should be worried about. But I will say, from OTAs, the 3 days that they've participated in OTAs up until this point, I heard that he was extremely accurate. I heard he was getting the ball out a lot quicker. So it was good news from Bryce Young as it pertains to the beginning of OTAs. So obviously that's exciting and relieving to hear. Relieving to hear. However, it's just the beginning. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting fucked up today.
Might have had too many drinks down there. Lost some cells.
No cap, bro.
Fell out in that Long Island.
Oh my God, yeah, it got wicked. It got wicked. But yeah, like let's just calm down. Let's just relax. This happens with it every single year, and more times than not, it's about performance within training camp or whatever. But none of that shit matters until we get onto that field.
Just real quick, while we're actually on the topic of Bryce, I just kind of want to put this question out there, right? If for whatever reason, Caleb Williams turns out to be dog shit, how does that make you all feel about the trade for Bryce? And Bryce Young improves drastically this year. How does that make y'all feel about the trade now?
Go. I would like to hear your opinion first.
I mean, even if Caleb would, what?
No, I was just going to say, and I preface this based off that report that came out of training camp. That's what made me
think
about Caleb Williams giving the ball up
7 times on 7 plays.
Well, one, we don't even know if we were in that position where we had picked Caleb Williams because you know how our front office is. Two, I think it would still depend on how Bryce does. So, I mean, it can go hand to hand. Like, if Caleb Williams has a terrible year and Bryce, has a terrible year as well, then it's I mean, you still got Dick, but, Bryce will have to drastically improve from last year for me to be that trade didn't really matter because we, in that same breath, we would still have to give Caleb Williams the same, well, no, not really. No. It depends because he does have a lot more weapons. But, I mean, people are still going to say he's a rookie. He's in his first year, so you still have to give him time to progress. And that's going to be the excuse that's thrown out, even though he has a bunch of weapons. Because, like I tell Smooth, he's a Bears fan. Caleb Williams going to be this, he's going to be that. I'm like, bro, he has all of these weapons, but he's still a rookie quarterback. Right. There's going to be some hiccups in the road. So, I don't know. That didn't maybe not directly answer the question, but it just depends on how bad Caleb Williams is and how good or bad Bryce is.
Right. But that was the premise of the question was, if Caleb Williams is dog shit and Bryce Young improves drastically, then how do you feel about the trade?
I mean, I guess I would just, it wouldn't be a bad trade in that sense.
I don't think it changes anything for me personally because I don't think that the trade was that bad. I don't think that you can predict that you're going to go up, draft a number 1 overall quarterback in the NFL draft, and still end up with a number 1 pick the following season. A lot of people, that context is lost. We didn't know we were going to have 1 overall. So what would have happened if we would have had 123? Something like that. It's just cool. But I think it's going to be the thing with Bryce Young is, and this might sound crazy coming from me, but you have to give him time to develop and you have to give him time to adjust. So you have year 1 under your belt at this point. So now year 2, we need to see improvement. So, but by the time we get to year 3 and 4, then we'll kind of understand and know better if we quote unquote won that trade or if we got fleeced, how a lot of people say. I don't believe we got fleeced, and we got compensation back this year in the draft. So I mean. That trade, a lot of people like talking about it because, back-to-back number 1 overall picks in consecutive drafts. But to me, it gets kind of gassed up. And I think that the Carolina Panthers did what they needed to do at that particular time. I feel like we made some shit shake, which is something that we don't really see with this organization. And I think the Chicago Bears did what they needed to do. And fortunately for them, they got the number 1 overall pick, but to me, it's nothing really. This trade, I'm tired of hearing about it. Just to be fully transparent, and just my hatred for the Bears. I hope that Caleb Williams is ass, but I mean, it's going to be hard to be ass when you have Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift. Like, I feel like it's going to be difficult to not succeed. And it's kind of like the argument that people make with C.J. Stroud. Like, C.J. Stroud went to a much more favorable situation. He went with a better coach, with DeMeco Ryans, that had a better system, that had better weapons overall. So, it's just like, cool, you take from that what you want. But until we see year 3, year 4, year 5 Bryce Young, I don't think that we get that answer. I think that answer is a TBD for much longer than a lot of people would want it to be, or a lot of people expect it to be. Because, like I said, I expect Caleb Williams to go crazy this year, because how do you not? How do you not?
Yeah, and
there's a way.
And this is one other thing.
Not to cut you off, my apologies, but we also don't know how true that report is. Because I saw, one person reported on that, but we don't know how true that shit is. Simple as that.
And I would say also, to go along with that, the last thing I'm going to say about it is the Carolina Panthers, like you said, they did what they were supposed to do. You traded up for the number 1 pick, and you picked who everyone said was the best quarterback on the board. Nobody expected C.J. Stroud. He had a record-breaking rookie year. Like, nobody expected that.
Yeah.
So it's like you went and did what you're supposed to do. And if we didn't, then fans would still have something to say. So it's like either way you look at it.
There was a debate for who was the best quarterback, but I do get where you're coming from, because and JJ were
experts. The experts said that Bryce Young was hands down the best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, Mel Kiper can go jerk it in a corner somewhere. Nobody cares what his expert opinion is anymore.
Fair enough.
Just to be real, but I think me and JJ was on that camp of CJ being better, but we're not gonna rehash that old conversation. I just thought it was an interesting question and some good food for thought, just based off of that initial report that Caleb is kind of struggling. He's struggling to find his rhythm, his timing, and his understanding. And then you kind of look at the film of Caleb, and a lot of his highlights are off schedule plays. Kind of helter-skelter. He actually has a really bad tendency to hold on to the ball for a long time in a lot of his highlights. So
yeah, because you can see when they played good teams that shit didn't really fly like that.
Right.
And the game is a lot faster in the NFL as well.
Too. Because I rewatched his tape from USC and Notre Dame, and Sam Hartman just flat out outdueled him.
Yeah.
Which is Sam Hartman went undrafted. So, that's just kind of – I just thought it was interesting, though.
Yeah, and also, to add more context to that, it's how we always talk about, how I always bring up the fact that, it's unfortunate for Bryce because you went number 1, C.J. Stroud went number 2. Mm-hmm. And so now, even a year later, you're going to be put in the same box and position and compared to the guy that you were more or less traded for in Caleb Williams. So for the rest of your career, you will be attached to this guy. So, it's an unfortunate situation, but like I always say on this podcast, and Terrence sometimes snickers at me, if he is what people say he is, I believe that he'll have the ability to overcome that, and I think we'll see a significant amount of progression from Bryce Young this season with the addition of weapons that we brought in. I do. Off of that, 5 predicted or projected starters for the Carolina Panthers did not show up to OTAs last week. How do you feel about that? Or 2 weeks ago, whenever
do you have their names off the top?
Jadeveon was definitely one.
Eddie
was another one.
Wasn't Hunt one?
Robert Hunt was one. Josie Jewell was one. And I don't know on the 5th one. So I'm gonna shoot. Luckily he gets shot bail because I don't know who it is off the top of my head, but I know those 4 were definitely guys that didn't show up.
I would say it pisses me off even more coming from the new guys.
Oh, excuse me, Alshon Robinson. That was number 5.
Yeah, it pisses me off coming from the new guys because it's like one. It's like you getting a new job somewhere and then you don't show up on the first day.
Yes.
And it's like you're new to the system, you're new to the team, you don't know it yet. This is your first opportunity to go, see what the atmosphere is going to look like, actually bond with your players and coaches on the field. Like, this is your first time at real on-field activity with your new team for the first time. And then it's almost like a slap in the face you don't show up. Because what makes you think that you're above the team?
Yep.
Once you start acting like you're above the team, then I just lose all respect for you. And Robert Hunt is rumored that him and his family just had a baby.
Had a baby, so I shoot him a little bit of bail as well.
I understand that, but that was already something coming in about Jadeveon Clowney because we didn't even know if we were going to sign him
before training camp.
Yeah, because it's like he doesn't like to be real. Like honestly, this is one of your last stops before you're out of the league, probably.
Yeah, and
like,
to be
if
honest,
we're just being honest.
Yeah, that's facts. And to be even more honest, you haven't really done shit for you to be maneuvering in that sense.
And Sean Robinson.
Yeah,
like,
him either.
And
so,
Robert Hunt, I mean, we just paid you. You're one of the highest paid linemen in the league.
Yes.
So, I mean, come on, bro. And Eddie Pinheiro, kickers are easily replaceable. So, I mean, cool. that I will give you that. But I forgot the argument that we was having.
It wasn't even an argument because I told you to save it for the podcast, but you were just like, I mean, after the Atlanta game, he has been extremely consistent.
Yeah, he has been consistent. So if you feel like he's worth more than what he's getting paid, go bet on yourself.
Cool, go bet on yourself elsewhere.
I mean,
we no longer need your services.
If we can't find anything better, then
especially when you got XFL kickers booming 63 yarders on the regular.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like you can go XFL, you can go CFL, you can go anywhere. All due respect, you can go find a kicker from anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
so I don't know why he thinks. I don't know where Eddie got this newfound confidence or whatever the fuck. But it's baffling to me.
I'll be honest. I just don't blame him because it's like, I mean, bet on yourself, go get your money. You feel like you're worth more than that, then, by all means, do what you got to do. Now, if we decide to part ways with you, then so be it.
So that's acceptable to you?
I'm saying
it's acceptable from the kicker, but it's not acceptable from anybody.
Because he's holding out for money. They're holding out to jerk off. It's two different things. Okay. You just got signed to the team.
Yeah, I think, like, when you guys first brought that initial report of how many players was, like, holding out or were holding out, I was hot initially.
Not showing up.
Excuse me.
For context, OTAs is 100% voluntary.
Right.
It's not mandatory.
It is. But every team that wins the Super Bowl, immediately following the Super Bowl, will always tell you it starts in OTAs. It starts in those voluntary, those off-season programming, those off-season workouts. That's where you really build the team chemistry. That's where you build the camaraderie. That's where you build the discipline. And so, like, for me as a fan, if, wanting to see, like, just in general, wanting to see the Panthers succeed next season and knowing how much they invested in outside free agents and wanting to be able to see the coaches get their hands on these new players and this new team as quickly as possible. So, because it's already going to be a massive install because it's a whole new regime, whole new playbook, new everything. These guys are coming over from a new team, so they're going to have to relearn everything from ground one just along with everybody else. So why not be there and, like, take these young guys, as you said you would, under your wings and be those leaders and set the tone for this organization moving forward? Because Carolina's in need of a desperate culture shift. And we said, what was the big problem with Brian Burns, right? In games, he wouldn't show up. That shit starts in the offseason.
Very true.
You got to show up.
It would be a little different. I would feel a little different if it was a guy like Adam Thielen or like Derek Brown that was like, okay, I'm not coming to voluntary OTAs.
That's almost worse.
Not really.
Like Derek Brown.
I'm about to say. I mean.
Not really. Nah. No, because y'all are missing the point that these niggas are new. Like, this is their first time being with the team. That's what makes the situation god-awful.
But with this coaching staff, everybody might as well be new.
I was about to say, to me, everybody is new. To me, it shouldn't have been voluntary. Everybody should have had their ass in that building.
Yeah, but
because everything, like he said, everything is new. New coaching staff, like I said earlier, first-year head coach. You have a shit ton of rookies, a shit ton of people that you brought in. Now I get it. Josie Jewell, he's been a part of the he's been a part of the scheme with EJ before.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Like, all of that, like, it's great and it's phenomenal and it's cool. But, like, I really just can't sit through another year of just half-ass bullshit. I'm not going to lie to you. And to me, this is a direct indicator already that that's what's going to be going on. Why, like, I don't understand it. I don't get it, bro. Like, I understand.
Well, I mean, you have to, I don't know if it's a legal standpoint or it's just like a thing that's like known that you have to make it voluntary.
Yeah, no, that was
based on
negotiated
league
on.
rules. Yeah, I was about to say based on league rules and with the NFLPA and everything like that.
I understand
and
what you're
great.
saying. You can have an understanding with your team and your players that
Dave Canales should have went in that building, in the meeting room, and said, listen, just like they told me at my job one time, hey, you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. But just based off of how we feel as a company, how we feel as a team, we think it may be best for you to show up.
And like
simple.
And it's like, because this is gonna sound outrageous, but like I'm comparing the work ethic. Okay, when I say this, but Tom Brady almost got fined for having that practice during the COVID year when they were said to keep everybody off the field. He got fined for having them out at that field trying to practice prior to OTAs. Like that's what, and then they went out and won the chip. That's what you want to see. Patrick Mahomes was at OTAs. I promise you that. He didn't skip a day. So when you see the greatest in the league, the people that you're competing with, if you really want to be the best and they're out there putting in more work than you, how are you ever going to be better? How are you ever going to beat anyone? And it starts now. Like that's my whole like problem with this. It looks bad on the work ethic.
And it wasn't just them either. Like those were just the 5 projected starters that didn't show up. It was a couple of other guys too. Couple of other rookies that would potentially be fighting for a roster position. David Moore was on that list as well. And, hey, if you watch, I mean, no harm, no disrespect.
well, he's probably
He's probably cut.
Yeah,
He's probably cut, but either way, I mean, if you feel that way and you feel like you probably cut, you need to be showing up every opportunity you can.
I mean,
or I'm off in that.
Well,
you're 100%
I agree, but you know, we kind of signed him early in the offseason, so after he done seen the draft and all this other shit, he probably got a little uninspired. So
that's soft shit.
And that's
so
the
then,
wrong
if that's the
mentality,
case,
so
right? I was about to say, so if that's the case, then we should already cut him off.
I mean, I don't think he should be here anyway. So I can care less if they cut him.
It's a bad start. Bad start to me. Bad start from a season standpoint. Bad start from a new regime standpoint. Bad start when you have a second-year quarterback who you know struggled last year. Bad start, especially when you have a top 3 paid position player in Robert Hunt. Now, again, if he had his baby, cool. I understand it.
That's the only one I'll give a pass
That's the
for.
only one I'll give a pass to. But Josie Jewell, I understand you've been in the system before, but I don't give a fuck. Jadeveon, we already got our thoughts on you as far as your work ethic is concerned, as it does when it's not pertaining to actual game field. But when it's training camp, when it's OTAs, whatever the case may be, we've heard rumors already about you not showing up or not signing with a team because you don't want to go to training camp and you don't want to go, the additional mile. So it just is nasty. And Alshon Robinson, I mean, respectfully, I just simply don't know what you've done to earn that right to not show up to shit when it's voluntary, but cool. But this is, to me, it's just setting a bad baseline of the expectation of heading into the season. I don't like it. I don't like it. And like you said, I especially don't like it from guys that are new. And to be honest, I might even lean your way a little bit more in saying if it was Derrick Brown, cool. If it was Adam Thielen, cool. Because, me and Bryce proved what we were going to prove last year. We proved that we can make it work. I went for over a band. I showed that I still have it. I'm going to take this time, rest my body, etc. But all of these new guys, that shit it looks nasty to me.
And I know you said something about Dave Canales should have went in and said, like, hey, this is how it's going to go. We can't necessarily say he didn't say that or alluded to it because at the end of the day, these are grown men. That's why Deion Sanders was basically, I mean, this is kind of irrelevant but kind of goes into the point like why he would never coach in the NFL. Because it's like these guys are making just as much money as me, not more. Like, it's hard to get them to buy in. It's going to be harder to get them to buy in. Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they still see voluntary. They probably did this with their other team. So, even if Dave Canales told them, like, hey, I don't really want this to be voluntary, even though, that's the rules. But at the end of the day, some of them could have probably been like, okay, we don't give a fuck.
Fair enough. Top 5 most impressive players out of OTAs thus far from Cat Crave. I'm going to start from the bottom because...
Is this going to be a surprise or something?
Yeah. So I'll start from the bottom. Number 5, Xavier Woods. Love to see it. And why is he a veteran that has been in this organization for 4 or 5 years, and yet he still shows up to OTAs? and still works his ass off. But that's neither here nor there. We'll move on.
Bryce Young, foundation.
Fair enough. I mean, that may be the case. Maybe that was the expectation in Dallas. I mean, I don't know. Bryce Young at number 4, Xavier Legette at number 3, J.C. Horn at number 2, and Ian Thomas at number 1. Now,
wait, run through that one more time.
Ian Thomas.
Mm-hmm. X.
Yep. J.C. Horn at 2, Xavier Legette at 3, Bryce at 4, and Xavier Woods at 5.
And Ian Thomas at 1.
Ian Thomas at 1. The most impressive at OTAs thus far. And I'll be honest, I seen how everybody was on his top about that video that came out. He looked bigger to me. Yes, he did look bigger, but he also looked a little faster, and his hands looked sharp. Now, I know I'm going to get slandered, but...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you just gassing the nigga up. But, I mean, it's not...
It means nothing because it's shorts and T-shirts.
Yeah, and, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of competition in that tight end room now.
Yes, sir.
So, like, if he wants his spot on this team, because, honestly, I feel like he overstayed his welcome already, in my opinion. So
I'd agree.
It's like, you see we got the young tight end we just brung in, drafted him pretty early in the draft, so it's like, I mean, you kind of got to put on the show to even damn near make the roster.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised at that. J.C. Horn, he also is basically on a prove-it year.
Yep.
Like, can you stay healthy? Can you be the guy that we drafted in the first round? So he's on a prove-it year. Xavier Legette, I mean, this is your first pick of the draft. Like, this is the first pick of the draft. So, I mean, he has to go out there and show why we chose him with our first pick in the draft. And so, and that wide receiver room is not a slouch either. That wide receiver room is pretty deep. Like, it's going to be some guys who are left off of that starting depth chart. So that makes sense there. Bryce, you know what kind of season you had last year. Granted, there was a lot of other factors around you that played into the year you had, but there was also a lot of improvement that needs to be made from last year to this year.
I agree.
And you're the quarterback. You're the leader of this team, so you need to be having a good day. Or
Set
you
the
need
expectation.
to, yeah. And then who was number 5?
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods, like you said, just that veteran presence. Could have been the foundation that was set. What he plays free safety or strong safety?
Free.
Because we signed a couple safeties in the offseason.
We did.
So that's probably another competitive room as well. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at the names that are on this list. The one name I wish I would have seen on the list was it. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there.
It's going to be hard to get that one in OTAs and shorts and T-shirts. Though.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
It's going to be impressive looking.
O-line is hard. O-line is difficult to kind of gauge in OTAs because their work is done with pads on. You know what I'm saying? It's all about hand placement and mechanics from a mechanical standpoint. So it's going to be hard to gauge that. But I would have liked to see his name on the list as well. He's on the hot seat.
Well, make it be not as hard. Based off the year you had last year, make it be not as hard. How about that?
I mean, I agree. He's on the hot seat. Ian Thomas is on the hot seat. J.C. Horn is on the hot seat. It's a couple of guys on that list that they need to have a good year this year. And unfortunately, y'all are going to think I'm being biased or y'all going to think I'm hating, but I believe Bryce Young is on the hot seat as well. Because I don't know how much patience Dave Tepper has. I'm not going to hold you. I was watching the clip. That we released yesterday, as a matter of fact, and that was one of the questions that we had in Q&A was, do we believe that Bryce Young, if he has another bad year, will Dave Tepper be patient, and will he even get a chance to prove himself in year 3? And to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if I see another season like last year from Bryce Young. I don't know if Dave Tepper is going to have the patience to be like, yeah, we still rocking with this nigga. I don't know. Let us win 3. Let us go 3-14 or 4-13, and I think niggas is on the hot seat. I do. Unless, like I said in that clip, it's a shootout every single game because defense is suspect. But yeah, that's what I had. What did you have? You seem like you had a comment.
Yeah, just to touch on the original question. Now, because I don't want anybody to misconstrue my words here when I say this, But like you making plays in OTA is meaningless. You being at OTAs and you making plays at OTAs is two completely separate issues, right? So let me just go ahead and lay that out. But like this is not the first time that I've ever heard Ian Thomas looked great in shorts and T-shirts. I've been hearing Ian Thomas looks great in the offseason damn near since he got to Carolina. And this guy beside you being the main proponent of Ian Thomas, I mean, you would have thought he was the second coming the first time we ever saw him at Panthers training camp. So, like, I think it's really meaningless as far as that. And, like, with J.C. Horn, you just kind of want to see the guy healthy. X, you know, you kind of expect him to stand out a little bit. That is your first-round pick, as you said. You hope you see some improvement from Bryce Young. Like, you hope he would be one of the standouts, especially with some weapons. And the fact that he's not getting blitzed every play. So, you know, that he probably does look good now that he has a little bit of time to actually go through some reads and progressions and throw it before shit gets serious. And X has been consistent. I think he's been one of the most consistent players on the team. So it's not that surprising that he's having a good camp. It's who he is. So.
Agreed. What was next on the list? I think it's Juice, right?
Yep.
Cool. Your ticket's ready. I don't even know. I feel like we should change this somehow to so that we're not at such a disadvantage. Because our records right now, oh my God. Are you still winless?
Are you?
Are you?
We have one win in about 5 weeks, 6 weeks, so this is not financial advice by any stretch of the imagination. However, we still gonna give y'all juice and we still gonna put the tickets in. Well, some of us still gonna put the tickets in. We'll start off with Dylan this week, plus 1258. Tommy Fleetwood to finish top 20. Rory McIlroy to finish top 10. And Mark Hubbard to finish top 20. As well as Real Madrid to win the Champions League chip. That is plus 1258. I don't hate it. I'll be honest with you. I don't hate it. I think that could be a banger. Got some juice there. We were on his top about not giving us juice. He done started, and he hasn't stopped. So, plus 1258. Again, all of the tickets that we talk about on here, we will post on Instagram and we will post on Twitter so you guys can see them. Put them in as fast as possible. Whenever you hear this, put them in. And more times than not, we're only able to go 24 to 48 hours max out, depending on, you know, what sport we're betting on. So make sure you get that in. Again, that was a plus 1258, and we will have that posted so you can tune in there. I'll go ahead and give mine just for the sake of time.
You and Dylan switch places.
Yeah, I because the thing about it is I can't keep getting rammed. I can't keep getting rammed. Plus 866, and that's still juice. He was giving us plus 510s. Still giving you plus 800s, plus 700s. I mean, my God, how much juice do you want from me? Plus 866. Get this one in as fast as possible. Straight MLB ticket. All games will be played tonight, so get those in as fast as possible. I got the Yankees minus 1.5 against the Angels. The Toronto Blue Jays money line against the Chicago White Sox. Over 8.5 runs for the Nationals and the Braves, and the Minnesota Twins money line against the Kansas City Royals. Plus 866 should be a very, very, very easy ticket to get in on. You can go up 3 legs if you want and cash it. My motto is to always ride no matter what. However, you put $10, $15, $20 on it, that's going to get you a nice little payout if you decide that you hit 3 legs and you want to cash out. So they're hating on me because allegedly I don't have enough juice. But, you know, I put my tickets in.
Yeah, you started getting conservative on us, but it's okay.
It's not financial advice either. Are you ready?
Oh, I thought I was going last. I brought the fucking hammer this week.
Okay. If that's what he want to say, so
you can just go to the chat.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to see something real quick.
He tried to juice his up. That's what
nah. So I got a 6-leg plus 2444. 2,444. That number almost sounds like it's good luck for whatever reason. So, I mean, we got the Las Vegas Aces money line against the Minnesota Lynx. This is WNBA. We got Atlanta Dream money line against the Washington Mystics. Then we got some baseball in there. We have the Arizona Diamondbacks plus 104 money line against Texas Rangers. We have the Phillies money line against the Giants. We have the Nationals money line against the Braves. And we have the Blue Jays money line against the White Sox.
Plus 24.44.
24.44. So do what you please with that. That's a lock. Lock it in. That shit gonna cash.
Yeah. And those WNBA games are being played tonight or Thursday?
They're being played tonight, yes.
Understood.
Not too bad.
All of those games are being played tonight.
Got it.
So, I decided to bring a little bit more juice than I had in the past, let's say like 2 weeks maybe.
Why? I don't know. Because he hasn't hit shit just like we have.
Yeah, because it's time. You know, when you're in a slump, you swing for the fences.
Okay. So, that's one perspective, I guess.
So, here we are. A grand slam for y'all. You're going to have to wait on this ticket, though. I'm going to go ahead and preface that. You're going to have to give it a little bit of time. But we got the Dallas Mavericks as the 2023-2024 NBA champions.
Clip, you're taking a shot. But go ahead.
No. Kyrie and Luka are on a different type of timing right now. And, you know, Jaylen Brown and what's old buddy's name?
Cool.
They don't got enough for him.
Cool.
So we got next we got Las Vegas Aces money line. That'll be on Wednesday, 8 p.m. We're taking the Phoenix Mercury to cover their 13.5-point spread versus the New York Liberty. That game is also on Wednesday.
Plus or minus?
Minus. So
minus
that
13.5. Cool. Okay.
No, plus 13.5. Plus
okay.
13.5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I thought you were talking about the odds. The odds was minus.
Sure.
The Washington Nationals, we're taking them on Wednesday against the Atlanta Braves. You know, Atlanta just lost Ronald Acuna. I just feel like that's a very devastating injury. And for whatever reason, I feel like they're going to get clipped by the Nationals. And then we're also going to take the New York Yankees on Wednesday versus the Los Angeles Angels for a total of 27-36.
Shit not that much higher than mine. I don't know why he coming in here saying he dropped the
like,
hammer.
It's like a plus 6,000 or some shit.
He came here and said I dropped the hammer.
Like, it's 300 higher. So,
well, that's one play. You got all of that juice from the damn Maverick sheet.
Yeah. Really, I got most of it, honestly, from the
Nationals, yeah. What was I going to say about the Mavericks? I was going to make a comment about that bet.
Yeah, be respectful when you do.
We already got some side bets anyway, so.
Yeah, we do. And long story short, if you get to the point where the last leg on your ticket is the Dallas Mavericks to win the championship, cash it out. Cash it out. I'm not going to lie. Because you would have already came up on something crazy if everything else hits like that. I'm not going to hold you. So, yeah.
Don't cash out my ticket. Ride.
Fair enough. That's how you're supposed to feel. Let's dive into this. What is after the NFL schedule review? Is it just the outro, or is there?
We had some Q&A.
Okay, cool. We'll dive into the schedule right now then. So I want to play this first. First things first. I want to play this before we get into that because I thought that this was unique perspective, and it kind of goes back to the mentality that we were talking about earlier. And why it kind of rubs me the wrong way when guys aren't showing up to stuff that's quote-unquote voluntary. But I'm going to just play this real quick. A clip from former Panthers quarterback Jake Delhomme.
Jordan, I'll be very honest. And we had a team meeting the next morning. And Jake Reed, longtime receiver who came from the Minnesota Vikings, who played with Chris Carter, Randy Moss, and Jake was very successful. And he got up and he said, guys, he said, the schedule came out. He said, let me tell you, it was the first thing I noticed. He said, we have a lot of games at 1 and at 4. We have nothing at 8 o'clock at night. And he got truly pissed. And he said, this is why we play the game. We play for these night games. He said, that ought to tell you what the NFL thinks about us. They don't respect us. And I was so young at that time and impressionable and didn't truly understand, but he had come from Minnesota where they were in all the big games and things like that. And so that's something, when this came out and I looked at it, and the first thing I looked at, I'm like, 1-4. Now, don't get me wrong, games can get flexed now. It couldn't get flexed way back then. But that's something that there's not a lot of respect around the NFL with Carolina. And I get it. There was 2 wins last year. But I know if I'm one of the players on the team, I'm not happy about it. And that's just something that you just quietly just kind of put in your backpack and say, all right, this is what people think about us. We're gonna change the narrative about the Carolina Panthers. That's the first thing that came in my mind, Jordan. I'll be very honest.
Long story short, the NFL sees the Carolina Panthers as being pussy. Being pussy, affecting the ratings, can't make any real money. So before I even saw that clip, that was one of the main things that stood out to me as well. No primetime games at all. Closest thing you get to that is your matchup in Germany against the New York Giants at 9:30 a.m. But even then, everybody is still at church. Everybody is still recovering from their hangover, etc. Niggas ain't really tuning in unless they diehard football fans or unless they playing fantasy football. And it just so happens that they have a Carolina Panther or a New York Giant playing on that specific week. So that rubbed me wrong. And when you get that perspective from a former player, it goes back to the conversation that we had earlier about the mentality. Like that's and we had a conversation, what was that, Tavian? Probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago, about this not being the old Carolina Panthers and this really marking the change of what we know the Carolina Panthers to be. Like, I just don't see any Carolina Panther player prior to 2018 being okay with this kind of shit and then being okay with your teammates not showing up to OTAs. Maybe I'm off in that, but again, that's kind of why I feel the way I do, because it's like, bro, nobody in the NFL respects us. Nobody in the NFL community respects us. No NFL fan base respects us. If you just go to a random home game of the Carolina Panthers, you see how easy it is for our stadium to be taken over like we're bitches. So it's just, to me, it rubs me wrong. And what can you say, however? Because like Jake said, I mean, you won 2 games last year.
Yeah, you don't
so
deserve
do you deserve it. Yeah, I was about to say, so do you even deserve it? Do you have any other comment?
Yeah, I mean, this has been something that's been going on the past couple of years. We've been a poverty franchise over the past couple of years, and we don't deserve to have a primetime game. If you go look at what we did last year, if you go look at what we did in the previous years, why do we deserve to have a primetime game? No player on that roster should feel like they deserve to have a primetime game. Because if you do think you deserve that, then, I mean, I'm challenging you at that point. Because what did you feel like we did last year that was good enough to deserve to be put on the game where the whole world is watching us?
Fair enough, because the one that we had against Chicago was a fucking snooze fest. Well, we had 2. We had the Monday night against New Orleans, and then we had the Chicago game as well. And both of those games were subpar.
Yeah, so it's like you nobody's wasting their money to put you on a primetime game. Like, be fucking for real with yourself. So, I mean, it's not anything that we deserve. And, it should make those guys play with a chip on their shoulder. But at the end of the day, it's like, how are you going to respond? How are you going to respond? They can sit in there and act like they're mad or act like they're upset, but how are they going to respond? What product are they going to put on the field? I mean, that's really all I got to say about it. I'm not about to, like, pat them on the back, like, wipe their tears. No, y'all suck.
Fair enough. Let's dive into it. Week 1. Again, another season of us starting in a hostile environment on the road against a divisional opponent. We pulled the New Orleans Saints. How do y'all want to go through this? Y'all want to go game by game and just touch it for 30 seconds? Do y'all want to go look at the schedule overall, give a final record prediction at this very second in time? How do y'all want to do it?
We can go, let's go game by game. Let's go game by game, and let's each give win-loss.
At the end. Or just
by
right
game.
there?
Yeah,
by
game. Let me keep track of this. I can probably write this down somewhere.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. I like that. So week 1. First and foremost, you end up pulling, and unfortunately, everybody in your division was the same way. But you end up pulling the fourth easiest schedule based on win percentage last season, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Is it 4? Was it 4?
I think we were 3. We were 3 or 4.
Okay, cool. So you end up pulling one of the easier schedules in the NFL just based off of win percentage. So that's a blessing. And we kind of already touched on that and knew that based on a conversation that we had 2 weeks ago because we did know the opponents. And the way the games are set up, I think that they're even easier than the opponents themselves overall. But we'll go through it. So week 1 is going to be a tough one, in my opinion. Again, we started last season off with the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. This season, we start off with the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be a tough matchup. And there's going to be implications on it already. There really are. You will either start the season off in a good position, being 1-0 in your division, or you start off being 0-1 in your division. For me personally, I'll probably say this is going to be a loss just because I think this team is just very, very young, very inexperienced. You have a brand new head coach. Obviously, you're going to have time throughout training camp to kind of install what you're going to install and kind of build that camaraderie and that chemistry. But I just think that the fact that this team is just so young, it'd be hard for me to see them going to New Orleans, a hostile environment, a divisional opponent, and taking that win from them. So I'm going to start off and say 0-1 to start the year off.
I'm going to say the same. I'm going 0-1. I got money on this game, by the way. But I might have let emotion, kind of overrule logic there. But, yeah, I think they'll drop this game in New Orleans. I don't really have any specifics or anything to back it up other than I just got to go based off what I seen last year. We weren't a very good football team. So it's going to take a lot for me to change my mind throughout a lot of the schedule. I'll go ahead and say that. But, yeah, I was dropping.
I'm going to say win. I actually think you guys start the season, new coaching staff, new weapons, upgraded team, at least offensively. I'm going to say win because nothing about the Saints. I think the problem with this team, the Panthers this year, is going to be their defense, and nothing about this team is really threatening on offense. You have an aging Alvin Kamara. Yeah, I mean, you have Chris Olave, but, I mean, it's week 1. God, I hope for the love of God J.C. Horn is healthy at least week 1. Yeah. So I think J.C. Horn can handle Chris Olave. They have a Rashid Shaheed, but, does he really move the needle that much? Not really.
No.
So, yeah, I think this is a dub for the Panthers. Starting off Canales' career pretty good.
Cool. And then we open up the season at home. Well, we have our season home opener against the Chargers. Justin Herbert comes into town. I expect that game to be packed. Kind of similar to what I was just referencing. I think Chargers fans travel relatively well. But, I mean, I think it'll be packed regardless. That new season buzz will still be in the air. I believe it'll be a win. The Chargers really offensively don't really have anything that moves me. They lost Mike Williams. They lost Keenan Allen. They lost Austin Eckler. So, a lot of those weapons that they had in the past that could kind of take the top off of a defense no longer are there. Now, they got a wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken.
But they didn't draft a wide receiver until later. They have Jerry Rice's son.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he does nothing for me.
Quentin Johnson.
Yeah. Neither one of those guys really moved the needle for me. I think that this was going to be one of those situations, the opportunities for us to start the year off a lot better than we did last year. Why I have our win total so high, as you guys will see as we go through this. But yeah, so I think that this is a win.
This is a tough one. I'm up in the air. I'm gonna go with L.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with L. I just feel like this is gonna be one of the games where it's gonna come down to quarterback play. Who's the better quarterback, Justin Herbert or Bryce Young? I think at this point in his career, Justin Herbert is a better quarterback, and I think that this would be a chance. John or Jim? Which one does I always get them mixed up?
Jim.
Think he also, he'll have a game under his belt. Nerves will be settled in. He's already coached in the NFL before, but still nerves in the first game. He'll have a game under his belt. So I don't know. I think that they'll just show that they could potentially be a better coach football team and then have a better quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going to also say loss because I think that the coach is a little bit better. I have a little bit more faith in Jim than I do in Dave at this point, at this particular point in their careers. And while the Chargers did lose some weapons, they also bolstered up along the offensive line and I believe defensive line as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I just think Jim knows how he wants to build this team and knows how he wants to attack, and I think they'll be a little bit better prepared in week 2.
Fair enough. Then we go on the road to Vegas. As we've mentioned multiple times, we will be in attendance. I'm going to say win. I'm hammering the over. I'm hammering the Panthers' money line. I'm hammering the Panthers to cover the spread. I'm hammering the Panthers to do everything in this game. I just don't think that Vegas has anything for us, to be honest. They're not a team that puts any fear in my heart. Is their defense halfway decent? Yeah, it is halfway decent. But the quarterback play is subpar. The weapons, obviously you have Devontae Adams, so I'm going to be respectful on that front. However, if J.C. Horn is who I believe he is, and however, if J.C. Horn is still healthy at week 3, during week 3, by week 3, I think we'll be okay. I think we walk in they shit and mop them, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I'm taking us in that game. The Raiders, they're just not a very good football team at this point. They have a new head coach as well. Who's their quarterback? What is their quarterback situation even looking like?
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, I mean, if you're rolling him out, I mean, respectfully, it could get bad in Vegas, and I could end up making or losing a lot of money. But if I see Aiden O'Connell on that roster, I'm betting the house on us.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm going win as well because I just don't think Aiden O'Connell is the guy.
So that's our second win for you?
Yeah, I got you guys sitting at 2-1 right now.
And you have us. He has us at 1-2.
1-2, and you're at 2-1.
2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Cool. I'm not mad at it. Let's keep moving on.
So we got the Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals, week
Loss.
4.
Loss.
L.
In the house,
I
at
already
the
punched it in
crib.
for y'all in the day.
Yep. Loss at the crib. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, potentially.
Joe Shiesty.
You feel? Oh, you're so fan out behind him.
Hey, bro. Hey,
You so fan out.
He different, boy. I ain't gonna lie.
Now, could we shock the world? Absolutely. And I think that I'll shock y'all a little bit later on. Actually, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for it. But
I already don't say what I think you're going to say, bro.
I'm going to say it, but it's okay. We'll save it for the time being.
Oh, my God.
I think this will be a loss. Again, young team. A lot of weapons that you're going up against. J.C. Horn, we don't know. This is around the time of the season where he kind of starts cocking off. Shit starts breaking in his body, etc. So, not sure if he'll be there. Even if he is, they have so many weapons that I think defensively we'll have a hard time matching up. We've spoken about on multiple occasions on this podcast how we've hyper-focused on the offensive side of the football, didn't do much defensively. And then we do know the holes on or within our secondary as it pertains to cornerback play specifically. And when you're looking at going up against 2, 3, 4 receivers that can take the top off of an offense or off of a defense, and you have a quarterback like Joe Burrow, I think your day becomes a lot longer. I really, really do. So I think that this one's going to be a loss.
And I agree for all the reasons that you said. I do want to say one thing before we move it along. What did you tell Tavian that time? Don't put the validity of the podcast in jeopardy. I just want you to keep that in mind going forward.
As you go through the record. Yeah.
Okay.
But I got this as a L.
Yeah, I got this as an L as well for pretty much all the same reasons. They're just a better team.
Yeah.
It's point blank, period.
Yes, I totally agree. Chicago, this is going to be tough. Yeah, this is going to be tough because as much as I hate the Chicago Bears and as much as I despise their fan base, what they've done this offseason with the addition of adding Caleb Williams to that quarterback room and him being the assumed starter of that organization going forward, this is going to be a very, 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 very difficult matchup for us based on the fact that, for one, they clipped us last year already. And obviously last year is last year. This team is completely different as it pertains to the Carolina Panthers.
And
as are
Bears.
Yeah, I was about to say, as are the Chicago Bears. But I think as much as it pains me to admit it, as much as it pains me to even put the shit in the atmosphere, I think right now, just looking on paper, I think they're a little bit better. Their defense looks a little more complete. Their weapons look a lot better. in totality from an overall standpoint. I think that you look at DJ Moore, we know that that hits home for sure, and then adding him with another wide receiver one and Keenan Allen, an elite weapon, and then Cole Kmet, we already know what he's capable of. DeAndre Swift, yes, he's been on a kind of downhill slope, I guess you could say, as it pertains to production. But all of that being taken into account, I think they'll have a little bit too much for us. I think it will be a close game. I think it'll be a dogfight. But another factor that will play into it is the fact that we're going to Soldier Field yet again. So for those reasons, I think that this is going to be a loss for us.
I have us winning this game. Going to Soldier Field doesn't really scare me. It was like 3 of us deep taking over the whole stadium. So really, the fan base is soft, in my opinion.
I mean, I agree.
So they do have a little bit more weapons than we do, but I mean, at the same time, it just the same way they can speed up Bryce, we can do the same thing to Caleb Williams. He's a rookie. We have every opportunity that we can go and make him have a bad game. Like, you have Derrick Brown on the defensive line. If the Jameson guy is who we think he can be or provide that kind of value, then, I mean, we can – and then you have Jadeveon Clowney. Like, we have the things to make Caleb Williams speed him up and be a bad quarterback. So, I mean, just taking that into account, it's going to be a dogfight, but I say we come out winning that.
Yeah, I'm kind of this one. I'm really on the fence about because I can see it going either way. Because I can see it just being I can see it where as Bryce takes it personal and is like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and get this. I have to go out and get this win. Because it means a lot because of the trade, because of the Chicago fans running their mouth. And you already saw the little clip when Bryce saw the schedule release where he said, "Oh, we got them week 5." Okay, like I already feel like he's already making mental note. Yeah, they're already making mental note of that. But then on the other hand, I can also see it where DJ Moore is like, you pussy ass niggas want to get rid of me? Cool. 250. You know what I mean? Like have a Julio-esque type game versus the Panthers. So could be long, but actually I'm going to say dub. Because like I said, I'm all in on Bryce this year, so I'm not going to change my stance now. I think Bryce gets the job done because this game is personal. So I'm riding with him.
Cool. Week 6. At the crib against Atlanta. Atlanta's going to be a tough out this year. I'm gonna start by saying that. I have us winning this game, but it's going to be a dogfight. The only reason why I have us winning this game is because we're home. But it's going to be tough, bro. Atlanta's another team that they did a lot in the offseason. They made, the questionable decision in the draft, but they added a lot. They have Kirk Cousins, who we know is a phenomenal regular season quarterback. Drake London is going into his 4th year at this point, 3rd or 4th year. Kyle Pitts obviously is a tough weapon. Defensively, they added a little bit. So I think it's going to be a tough battle. I think it's going to be another dogfight. I think that that's going to be a tough 2-game stretch right there when you go Chicago and then play Atlanta. I do have us winning again. This one is the one at the crib, week 6. I have us winning this game.
Yeah, I have us winning as well because we're at home. We tend to play Atlanta a little better at home. It's always a close game, a close, nasty game, low score. But I think we'll pull this one out just based on the simple fact that we're at home.
I also have Atlanta. I also have the Panthers winning this game versus Atlanta because it's at home. I figure you probably split with Atlanta. I do think Atlanta's a good team, but it's kind of TBD on Kirk Cousins. We got to see how he bounces back from that Achilles. So we'll see. But I think if he bounces back and he's the same old Kirk Cousins that we've all grown to love or hate, depending on where you stand on Kirk Cousins, I think that they'll be a tough out, and they'll be in playoff contention for sure, especially in the South.
Yeah. This is going to be another interesting one. This stretch right here from week 5 to week 8, very, very interesting. And this is going to be the point in our season. It's either going to make us or it's going to break us. Because that Chicago, that Atlanta, that Washington, that Denver, and then that Saints, that's going to be tough.
I'm going to just say this. This is where I have us win the majority of our games.
I don't know.
So what do you have for Washington?
That Washington game is going to be tough, bro. That shit is going to be tough. They got Dan Quinn. They got Jeremy. They got Frankie. They got a whole lot of other pieces. Maybe we made the most moves, but I think Washington was a close second in free agent additions. Why we will win this game is just simply based on the fact that they have a rookie quarterback. That's the reason why we're going to win. So I have it as a win, but that shit is going to be tough. And I think Jeremy and I think Frankie are going to be on demon time. And though it hurts that they're gone, us as fans can admit when them niggas get on demon time, it's a lot different energy. It is.
So you have a win?
I do have a win.
I got us winning this game. You just can't really scare me with something I already had, personally. But that's just me.
What is that? Oh, Jeremy Chin?
And Frankie. Yeah, okay. That's just me.
So they pussy?
I mean, do they play for us?
Cool. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Explain.
So,
apologies.
No, I mean, yeah, I do have us winning this game. They have a rookie quarterback. They have a new head coach as well. We know Dan Quinn, like, he prides his team on defense. He does have 2 solid players that came from us. But, I mean, at the same time, like, I just don't really respect Washington like that. That's just me personally. And I just don't. Like, if you're going in telling me that Frankie and Jeremy Chin is going to change the trajectory of the game, I'm not worried.
Okay. I mean, I think that's fair. I actually have this as a loss. I think the Commanders are drastically improved. I think Jaden Daniels is actually might end up being well, I'm going to go ahead and say he'll end up having a better rookie season than Caleb Williams. Just off the initial read of everything, he looks a lot sharper than Caleb has. In camp, so I think he'll be solid, especially with as many weapons as he has access to on that offensive side of the ball, as well as that defense having a major improvement in coaching, but also in like players upgrades. Like you mentioned, Frankie Louvu, Jeremy Chin. They also added a Bobby Wagner. I think they're going to be solid. They drafted some cornerbacks pretty high in last year's draft that didn't quite live up to their pre-draft expectations, but I think another year under their belt. I mean, the kid ran like a 4.25 or something at DB, so like I think he'll be okay, especially with Dan Quinn coaching him up. Now, I saw our cornerbacks improve drastically under Quinn, so I think this will be a L. I think the Commanders are going to be a tough team to beat this season.
Not mad at that at all. That's why I said, bro, this is going to be a make or break point in our season because, yeah, we have them. We have us winning that Chicago game. Or you have us winning that Chicago game.
I do too.
We all feel the same way about Atlanta. Kind of a toss-up against Washington. I would say that Chicago game is a toss-up. Denver, I think we beat the dog shit out of them. I think it'll be week 3 all over again. This is one of those things, one of those games that I'm damn near willing to make it a lock. They have nothing that scares me at all. Sean Payton. Fuck them. And I really don't have any other context. I just think that we're a better football team than the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I think we'll beat Denver. They're a pretty mediocre team. It probably sound crazy coming from a team who went 2-14, but I just feel like looking at the team side by side, I just don't see Denver having enough.
Yeah, I think Denver's chopped. I don't know what they did at the quarterback position this offseason, but it's got to be the worst in the league, if not like second worst, but might be the worst. It's god awful.
What are the records sitting at right now?
So let's see here. We are in week 9.
Heading into week 9. Yep.
Let's see. JJ is at 5-3. Terrence is also at 5-3. I'm at 5-3 as well. So we're all sitting at 5-3.
Interesting.
We have them winning and losing different games though. But
yeah.
We're all sitting at 5-3.
Cool.
Now I want y'all to know, I'm gonna go ahead and preface this. My wins are running out.
Yeah, mine are too.
Mine are running out.
Mine are as well.
Mine are getting up out of here, boy.
So Here we go at the Saints, right?
Yep. Saints travel to Charlotte. I'm taking us. I think we split. So there's win number 6 for me.
Same. Got us splitting, beating the Saints.
Okay. I also have a win here. I don't necessarily think the Saints are a good team this year. So
yeah, in this division matchup.
So you have a sweep in the Saints.
Yeah, low key actually, because Derek Carr is so god awful. Like, he's so bad, bro. I think, matter of fact, this might be the first game of the year where Spencer Rattler starts. Week 9. This might be it because I think Derek Carr is horrible.
Okay. The Giants.
That's an interesting game. In Germany.
I think we'll have home field advantage out there.
It's quite possible.
Because our shit be rocking and popping in Germany. They love us in Germany. Damn.
Can I just say mine then?
Yeah.
We'll lose that game. And I don't really know. I don't really have any like clear cut reason to why. You just can never get too high. You can never get too high.
So you think we're just gonna get clipped?
Yeah,
we had us at 5-3.
You can never get too high with these niggas. We'll drop that one.
Okay. Fuck, man. I think that this one or two things happens. Either Brian Burns completely wrecks us and has like 3.5 sacks, forced fumble, etc., or he's held in check and it's a dog fight and the Giants come out with a victory. So I think that either way the Carolina Panthers lose this game.
Yeah, don't try to dress the shit up, nigga.
Either way, the Giants have made a lot of improvements, as have we. But I think they will be a little bit better at that time, and maybe they might not even be better. They just might catch us on the right Sunday at 9:30 Eastern time, and I think we'll end up clipped.
Yeah, I mean, I think Daniel Jones is horrible. And I also think that they lost Saquon Barkley, which is devastating because that was literally the only good thing about their offense. That being said, I still think the Giants are going to win this game because I just think they have a better team. And I have a feeling that this will be a Brian Burns, let his nuts drop game. He might not do nothing for the rest of the season, but this game he going to do something.
This one he's going – I think I agree. I think this one is going to be the one. So I think he'll go crazy this season, but –
yeah, I mean, him and Kayvon Thibodeau opposite of each other will be an interesting combination, to say the least.
And when he gets up in front of Icky, oh, my God. Good God almighty.
So we got a bye in Week 11. I think it'll come just in the nick of time. So at the bye, we are all sitting at
6-4?
Yep.
And this is where it goes downhill.
Yep. So we're at 6-4 going into the bye. It's been a pretty solid season for the Panthers so far, I think. A lot of good. We've seen a lot of improvement to this point.
Don't do it, bro.
We have the Chiefs coming out of the bye in Week 12.
Don't do it, bro.
I believe Patty is going to Arrowhead. I mean, Patty's going to the bank.
For the first time in his career, probably.
Yeah, I think. For the first time in his career. I have the Panthers. Simple.
Yeah. It's just nothing on this earth that can make me pick them. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. What you mean? I know exactly why.
We had them beat 3 years ago.
This ain't 3 years ago.
Whatever it was.
This ain't that.
Yeah, I got an L.
Coming
I don't even gotta say
I mean, I don't even know why I'm trying to elaborate. Anybody knows why there's an L.
Yeah.
Okay.
L.
And they done nothing but got better.
Right.
And then we coming off the bye strong and
against Hollywood and hopefully Rashid would be back at this point in the season. You never know with all his allegations. And then
Xavier Worthy, little bro.
Xavier Worthy, yeah. We'll see what he turns into. But Patty said he wants to air it out this season, so we had to go get faster.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what they did.
J.C. Horn could very much well be clipped by this time. We know that. So I'm just picturing going in there with Dane Jackson, that's his name.
Yeah, and Troy Hill.
And Chu.
And then, yeah, I mean.
Whew. Yep. So then we got Week 13 against the Bucks.
Make sure you write my shit down, nigga.
Yeah, I got it.
About me.
Oh, wait, with the Bucks are you saying you got us with the Bucks or the
Kansas City?
The Chiefs. I already got that.
Okay, cool.
We're on to the Bucks.
I got Carolina.
I got us losing.
Okay.
Fuck. I have us winning. What? Is Bryce better than Baker?
I mean, do I have to go based off what I seen last year?
Just based off of the knowledge.
No, not at this point.
All right. Well, I have us winning the game. I think Dave Canales is going to expose Tampa Bay. They have a lot of new faces in that building, as do we. So I won't use that as a con to what they have going on right now. But I just think that we'll be a little bit better. I think that the momentum of the Kansas City win is going to carry us into that week, and we're going to clip the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that week as well. So I have that as a win. You have it as a loss. What do you have?
I have it as a loss. I just think Tampa Bay is a better team at this point. So
do y'all have Tampa Bay winning the division, just for the record?
I think it'll be a toss-up between them and Atlanta. I don't think we're in that conversation.
I haven't decided who I got winning the division yet. I got to see their schedule as well.
Okay. Philly.
Then week 14 against the Eagles.
Loss.
L.
Same.
Dallas.
So how do never mind. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's a great question, actually.
Yeah, you knew what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Because Kansas City is at home and Philly is on the road.
Okay.
That's why.
So Dallas, at home.
Dog fight.
Win or loss. I don't care what type of fight it is.
We're losing.
Probably a loss.
And
Probably a loss. But it's going to be a dog fight, and it's going to be closer than a lot of people think it's going to be. It is. It might be a one-score game. Actually, I'm willing to put money on that. If you want to set the line at 5.5, I'll take the Carolina Panthers plus 5.5 if you want to set it right now. I don't think that you guys beat us by 6 points.
I mean, I don't really have a lot of faith in this team this year, I'm going to be honest. So long as Dak is at the helm, I won't be placing any more money on this.
Okay, cool.
So,
cool.
But
so
at the same time, I'm also going to say L.
Okay.
Because I think that the Cowboys have a loaded roster still. I mean, with all the noise of the offseason, if you still look at their team on paper.
They're a regular season team, too. So
Yeah, exactly. And I can't remember the last time they went into Carolina and lost, so it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time. So
it has been a long time.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say L.
Okay.
Then week 16 against the Cardinals.
Win.
Save your fucking breath, nigga. We don't need a content piece.
He about to start sack riding Marvin Harrison. Here we go.
I was just saying because Kyler's back.
Man, nigga, fuck
I think Kyler's still a great quarterback in this league, and I'll be interested to see what he looks like this year. But at the same time, I'm going to say win for the Panthers because I just don't think the Cardinals got enough. And who's their new head coach?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. So
loss against Tampa.
Oh, it's Gannon. It's Jonathan Gannon from the Eagles. That's right.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, they put up a lot more fight than people thought last season, though. I'll give them that credit.
They did.
But
for sure.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to flip mine. I'm going to say L against the Cardinals. I'm going to say L.
He fanned out cool. Behind the bitch-ass Cardinals. Got it. Tampa Bay loss.
I think they clip us twice.
Win.
Okay. And week 18.
Loss.
And as crazy as this is going to sound to a lot of y'all, and a lot of y'all are going to think I'm being biased, what is my record at right now?
Give me a second. Give me your last one, and I'll give you the whole records.
I got an L.
This is going to be for the divisional championship.
Win or loss?
Win.
Panthers win the division and go to the playoffs?
Yes.
All right, let me tally up. Let me go ahead and tally up these records.
9-8, I believe.
Why do you think this is going to be for the division? So you just think Tampa's pussy?
Yeah,
yes.
I don't
and
understand where you got that from, bro.
Why is Tampa Bay gassed in y'all's head?
Bro, did they get worse?
I just think that we got better, and I think Atlanta got better, and I think that Tampa Bay stayed the same. That's what I think.
I mean, I think even with Tampa Bay staying the same, I just don't foresee us getting that much better.
Okay. Well,
and they won in the playoffs.
What did we do against Tampa Bay last year?
I wanted them to say
swept.
we lost both.
Swept.
Yeah, we only won 2 games.
Yeah,
shit.
Correct.
You can say what we do to most of the teams.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, I think Tampa Bay is pussy. If y'all want me to just go ahead and say it, pussy enough for us to split with them. I mean, yeah, pussy enough for us to split with them. I think Atlanta is a very, very talented football team.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What did you? I mean,
no. Go ahead. I was just my fault. I just was thinking out loud. I was just gonna say I think this is where your Panthers homerdom kind of shows itself, and I feel like this is where we see that Terrence is the true objective fan of the bunch. But I
don't know, bro. I don't know. I think that, like I said, week 18.
They got him.
The time is TBD.
Well,
the time is TBD. I think that is going to be flexing to a 4:30 game because I think it's going to be for the division. And I think we're going to end up getting the job done.
Well, by your metrics, the Panthers go 10-7 this year.
That's insane. That's outrageous, honestly.
I was at fucking 10 wins again.
By your metrics, the Panthers will be 10-7 again.
It didn't take long, bro.
Terrence, by your ranking, the Panthers will be 7-10.
I damn near don't even. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and mine is also. I have the Panthers at 7-10.
I damn near want to take a game off. I just don't even know which one. I damn near want to take 2 off.
So you think we're only winning 5 games this year?
Yes.
Okay.
5 to 6.
Well,
I think 7's attainable. I think 7's attainable.
I think 10 is attainable. That weak ass bitch ass schedule.
They got him, bro. They got him.
They don't got me.
Do you want to put money on 10 wins?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to put money on 10
You want to put money on 9?
No. But
you have them at 10. I'm giving you a game under.
So give me 2. I'll put it on 8. I won't put it on 10.
I'll take that. But I don't want to bet against my own team.
You'll take it? Take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We can do 50 apiece.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
You put it in your notes?
Yeah, I will. I promise. Yeah.
What I tell you, Dylan, it's that time of the year.
Good Lord, bro. I didn't even want to. I didn't even want to do that against my own team. But you just got too delusional, bro.
Come up season.
It's not, bro. I think you look at the games that I have us winning, those are very winnable games.
Not Kansas City. You just got to take that off, bro.
Well, that's why I said give me 2. That's why I told the nigga give me 2. So even if I'm delusional in the Kansas City game, I still have a game to spare. They get 8. I think we get 8 wins this year, and I think we win the division at 8-9. I do. I mean, I don't know what else niggas want me to say. I don't know what explanation y'all want me to give. I just broke the schedule down with everybody. Game by game, I have us at 10.
Hey, man, you're entitled to your own opinion. You know, and you
so
just got to sit with
I'm just crazy. I'm insane.
No, I mean, it's just whatever you want, man. It's your world. We're just living in it.
Yeah,
I'm insane?
Yeah, it's just insane.
I have us at 8 wins, 8-9.
Okay.
That's where I think that I want to say.
So who did you take off?
Kansas City and one
Arizona?
of the divisional games. Not Arizona. Arizona is fucking pussy, bro. They're soft as shit. Like, I don't know why you're gassed on them niggas. Let's see.
You want to put money on that
Washington.
game?
Washington is the other one that I have us taking off. Washington and Kansas City. Those are the 2 games that I think that can go either way and that we could potentially lose. 8-9. I think that's still below 500. I think it's a significant improvement from last year. I think if Bryce is what niggas say Bryce is, with the additional weapons, with the additional protection, I think he'll take a significant step forward. I believe we have the ability to win 8 games.
And I'll say this. My record is subject to change based on what we see at training camp.
Yes,
and based
absolutely.
because we're going to do another one probably before the season starts, maybe after the preseason games, or would even. Yeah.
Right now, this is just our way too early.
Yeah.
Way too early NFL schedule review for the Carolina Panthers. That's what this is. Way too early.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
No, I mean yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't know why you did that, bro. With the Kansas City, I don't get you, bro.
A lot of niggas can win a lot of money off that game because they're gonna come in thinking the same exact way you're thinking. I got you. Let's see. Go to Q&A. These are gonna be. Let me see if anybody actually submitted anything just real quick before I go further. Okay, yeah. So this was a question that Mike Remmer put up, and I think this is a great way to close the episode out, having this conversation. Actually, I have two questions, but one will be quicker than the other. So I'll start with the quick one. Who's the Panthers' GOAT? FanDuel has it being Cam Newton.
No.
I think I agree with FanDuel. And that is, I mean, I love Steve Smith. That's the only one. Steve Smith, maybe. Julius Peppers, maybe. I think I know who you're going to start sucking off. But I pray to God. That's not what we're doing. But I think for me, I think I agree with FanDuel. I do. I love Steve Smith too.
For me, it's Smitty. I mean, it's no question in my mind who the GOAT is for the Panthers. Always has been, always will be.
This is what everybody waiting on.
Everybody being me, yeah. Because I think it would be absolutely fucking preposterous and disrespectful if you say who I think you're going to say.
Well, he's going to say it, so go ahead and Bryce.
I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Smitty. I think I'm gonna go Steve Smith. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Smitty.
That went a lot better than I thought.
I thought he was gonna say.
I wanted to. I wanted to. Best defensive player. Yeah, give me him all day
over Julius Peppers. Right?
Yep, I'm taking him.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
First ballot Hall of Famer. Got it.
He's a first
yeah, I was about
too.
to say, nigga, don't get disrespectful.
Yeah. Luke is definitely one of them ones, but over JP,
defensive player of the year, second year in the league.
Peppers was also one of them ones though. So,
nigga, Peppers was a fucking specimen.
Yeah,
like
Peppers is different.
But you know, to each their own.
I know, just like you with that fucking schedule. So,
okay, here we go. Wrapping it up. Here's our last question, last conversation piece, whatever. Coming from Mike Remmer. Shout out, bro. Be tapped in on Twitter. You know, good dude. Why is that funny?
Go ahead, bro.
How many receiving yards are you anticipating from the Panthers' top wideouts this upcoming season? Deontay Johnson, tell me how many he's going to get. You can set a baseline. You don't have to give me an exact number. Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette, go.
Deontay Johnson, 1,164 yards. Don't know why that number popped into my head, but
I'll just say don't give me a specific number. Just give me a baseline. So 1,100.
Right. Baseline 1,100.
Okay.
Adam Thielen, I'm going to say 9. And Xavier Legette, I'm going to say 850.
Okay.
Because I have Bryce going crazy this year, so they're all going to have to be close to 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Deontay Johnson, 1K. Adam Thielen, I'm going to go 650. Xavier Legette, I'm going to go 750.
Deontay, 950. Thielen, 800. And Legette 1,100. I think Legette is gonna go fed. And with the drop issues we've seen from Deontay, I think he runs the risk of potentially losing Bryce's trust early. So we'll see that ball get spread out a lot more.
I can see that. I was skeptical going 1K, but based off what that bullshit he said, then I just don't have a choice to believe that
will happen. That's true. And also, these numbers could potentially be inflated as well because we don't know what JT Sanders is going to do. Mm-hmm. JT Sanders might emerge as wide receiver 1.
Or TMJ.
That too.
Bullshit.
That too.
Bullshit.
Or ISM. If we just throwing fucking
I seen him run a route today, and it was just so shitty, bro.
ISM or TMJ?
ISM. I could just see returner written all over it. But that's just me.
Fair enough. But I think
or
that
Gunner.
Yeah.
Well, there was and to add a comment to that as well. There was a comment on our YouTube that was kind of interesting to me. But he was talking about he was a South Carolina fan, found our shit based off of Xavier Legette and all of the algorithm shit, whatever. But he was like, Xavier Legette used to be a dog at USC as a gunner, so that's why Dave Canales even felt comfortable saying that shit. And I heard that, and I still, for the life of me, couldn't imagine life with Xavier Legette playing starting receiver and gunner. That shit just seems outrageous to me.
I feel like that's what we said, but I thought you disagree, right?
He did. He strongly disagreed.
Yeah.
With what?
With the proposition of Xavier Legette being gunner. You said put him out there.
Yeah.
I said put him out there for camp. I said put him out there for camp.
We gotta go roll. We gotta go roll the film because you strongly disagree with us.
Yeah,
bro.
because y'all niggas were like, bro, this nigga he's starting first round wide receiver, this and that.
Yeah, why would you put him at gunner?
That shit is great, nigga. But
you would put him at gunner if he was in TMJ or Mingo's spot.
Yeah,
then you put him at gunner. You don't put him at gunner as trading up to go get you round 1, so I can have that 5th-year option. Unless you need that 5th year option because you know he's gonna get clipped as gunner. So cool.
Yeah.
Or he's just valuable at gunner. Because if he was that at South Carolina as a gunner, and you got Dunk already fucking sliding,
How much difference did it make, though? How much of a needle does it move? We can fill in that gunner spot with. We got plenty of options.
I don't think we gave up a punt return for touchdown last year. So they were pretty damn good last year, bare minimum.
Right.
So
What we do? Put the same motherfuckers back out.
Yeah, exactly.
They so damn good.
Anything else from you guys?
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Why does he always like doing my fucking outro? Why does he like doing that? You got anything?
Nah, I'm good. Good to be back. See y'all next week.
A couple of y'all wanted to know what games we were going to. Vegas, lock. Washington, for me personally, lock. And Atlanta, week 18, TBD. Those
Dallas
are what we're going to on the road. Dallas, lock. Kansas City, lock.
Atlanta lock. Kansas City lock. Vegas lock.
Vegas lock.
Probably Joe Burrow lock.
Get off his fucking cock.
Like,
comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Met a baddie from the Bay, hey, suck and fuck all day, yeah, but she can't call me babe, no.